Hey everyone, it is Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. You have to excuse me, I got another cold. I don't know how this keeps happening. I think I'm doing okay, so we'll make it through this video. Okay, I want to talk about drama in comics. Not just in comics, but surrounding comics. I've heard this quite a bit, especially because of Comicsgate or the comics industry or things like that. It's using drama to sell books. Now, I think it's important to understand that drama has always sold books. It's always sold any kind of entertainment. Drama or comedy or action. I mean, all of that has drama involved in it. Now, there's good kinds of drama that are interesting and they bring in, they're satisfying, they're enjoyable, not harmful. And then there's other kind of drama that can be forced, fabricated, nonsensical, or just lied about. It could just be straight up clickbait. And that can either be in comics or surrounding comics or whatever it might be. That's how things work. Now, I kind of miss the days. Okay, so here's the thing. People will say, oh, if you're crowdfunding comics, you use drama to sell it. I think there's always some level of drama. Again, it's what kind of drama. If it's a fight, or if you start a fight or something like that to sell books, I think people see that kind of stuff. But there could also be there's also the story behind the campaign, or behind selling the book. And there can be a lot of drama there. I left mainstream comics to go write my own comic book and crowdfund it, and if this doesn't work, then there's going to be some trouble, whatever it might be. That is also drama, and that's interesting to people because there's conflicts, there's high stakes, there's all sorts of stuff. Now it kind of got me thinking, what does Marvel and DC do to create drama to sell things? Now, if you think that they don't create drama, it's not just that they use drama or they'll monetize a situation. They will deliberately create the situation in order to sell books. Then they do this every time that they do a gender bender story, or they do crazy variant covers, or they try to make people upset. Don't think this is on accident. It's on purpose. It's so that you'll talk about the book, it'll get exposure, and it'll get purchased. That's how it works. It didn't always used to be exactly this way. But if you go back to even the Stan Lee days, early Stan Lee days, early Marvel, he was still using drama to sell books. It was just different. It was more about the stories and excitement, and you could see the stuff on the front. And he was really well known for being a good salesman because he sort of had that, I don't know a good way to say this, kind of like huckster way, it was like a carnival, salesman kind of thing. And that made it fun and exciting and dramatic. And that was always part of his tone. Now, Marvel will go through this point, not just Marvel, DC's done this too, where they'll kill people off to create drama, because they know if they kill somebody off, it's going to shock you, it's going to make you upset, because these are characters that you've cared about. That used to work, and then people kind of saw how it always happened. Death didn't really mean much. People came back alive all the time, and they'd jump back into the story, and it wouldn't really mean anything. So I'm going to play a little clip here. This is from CBR, and this is CB Cebulski, and he's in, I think, Sweden or something like that, and he got asked about killing off characters and what goes into that thought process. Now, if you think they don't kill off characters, and he's going to deny this, we'll let CB talk. I disagree with him pretty firmly on one point, and I'll point that out. But this is, in his own words, how they address killing characters off.
What's the process of killing off a character? Do you prepare some kind of...
What's the process of killing off a character? death is a part of the comic book universes, you know, particularly a part of the Marvel universe, you know. Every character has been killed off or come back at some time or the other. We always say that there's two characters that'll never come back, and that's Gwen Stacy and Uncle Ben. They're so integral to Peter's, you know, upbringing and his origin story. But we even said back in the day that Bucky would never come back, and now we have the Winter Soldier. So, but the process of killing off a character is not an easy one, and a lot of people think death is.
Now, hold on here. They also have Spider-Gwen, just to point it out. Yeah, I realize it's in a different universe and everything, but, yeah. And I've also read comics where Uncle Ben kind of comes back temporarily, I guess. But, you know, I get the idea. We'll continue.
Something that we don't take seriously in the Marvel Universe, but it really is. And there's a lot of debates that happen because if a writer suggests that we should kill a character, it always has to be story-driven first. It can't just be for shock value. And normally it's a discussion that we have between first the writer and the editor, and then the writer and the editorial team, and then...
I'm sorry.
You get a beautiful shot of the coast. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So the
Technical
process of killing off
difficulties.
a character really is a group decision, and it's made always with the best story in mind. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, Marvel kills someone. They always think that they know how that character is going to come back eventually. And that's not true. Sometimes when we kill characters, we really think that they are dead for good. And then it was Joe Quesada, who was the chief creative officer of Marvel. He got a lot of slack because he came up with the saying that said, "Dead is dead." Meaning, if you kill a character in the Marvel universe, they're always going to stay dead. And when characters started coming back, they went back and said, "Look, Joe, you said dead is dead. You lied." And the real quote is, "No, dead is dead until the writer finds a great story with emotional impact, so the character comes back in a way that fans will accept."
Yeah, that's not exactly true. I think A Brand New Day at the Spider-Man series, and that was really one. Aunt May died in a really dramatic and shocking way, and it didn't take long before Aunt May came back in order to I don't even remember the reasoning, honestly. It's kind of annoying, kind of irritating, but you expect it because in comics it happens all the time. So when this article came out and they said that C.B. Cebulski was saying more permanent comics deaths, that there was going to have more impact. I didn't want to go over the whole video, but he does say that it's going to have more impermanence. How does something have more permanence? It's either permanent or it's not permanent. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, I'm not going to draw too big of a fight over this, because does it really matter? No. We've seen it all the time. It might work for you. You might like it. It might be irritating. Who knows? It doesn't matter. It's about creating drama and selling books. And if they know they can get a reaction out of readers, then they're going to go for that. If it was strictly about storytelling, I think you'd see something a little different. I think you'd actually have characters die and stay dead, honestly, from the beginning. And there's already been a long tradition of bringing back characters because comics is a really interesting medium. It has a really interesting history of being such a commercial storytelling medium. And so those characters are going to be used over and over again. So I don't see a lot of sense in having characters be dead and stay dead for any significant amount of time in the world of comic books, at least not for Marvel or DC. So I wanted to point out, one, that CB did not bring this topic up. Somebody from the audience asked about it. You could tell he had to pause for a minute and think about it. Now, if you had read the beginning of this article or the headline, you might think that this is hinting that there are going to be some more deaths in the Marvel Universe and they're going to be permanently dead. It's going to mean something more. But as you could see in that article, it really didn't. He backpedaled. He just said they'll die unless we want them to come back for some storytelling reason. I don't agree with that. I think it has a little more to do with sales than it does with storytelling, and that's because drama sells. One more point here. CBR actually posted this in the headline, even though that they posted that same video that we just watched, the segment of, and it is misleading. I mean, they tell you the truth here. That's technically what he was saying. But for that to be a headline when it was really just in response to a question that was brought up to him, it wasn't like he has something in the works, something planned specifically. He was addressing a broad question that just came up. So it's not wrong, but CBR is using drama to get clicks on their channel. And this is a June 2nd. This is a Sunday. This is a slow news day. I'll tell you, even for YouTube videos, Sundays are slow. You can expect fewer views on Sundays. That's how it works. So drama selling comic books. Drama always has sold comic books. Is there a tasteful way to use drama to sell comics? I think so. Absolutely. I think Stan Lee did a great job selling comic books. Not all of his peers agreed with him, though. A lot of people did not see him as just selling books. They saw him as, the carnival barker, earlier on in his career for sure. People still are upset if drama is used to sell comics. Comics are about excitement. Again, I think it can be done tastefully, and I think it can be done untastefully. And really that's up to who's selling it and who's buying it. You get to decide what is okay and what is not. Making comics fun, though, is always going to be something that I'm going to be striving for. And that's not just in the comic itself, but that is all around the comic, just like Stan Lee did. And I think a lot of people today are doing it well. Just my few thoughts on drama. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I want to let you know, though, this is my friend Eric Weathers. He's actually lettering my book, which is Downcast, and we're still up on Indiegogo, by the way. We're just in demand. We're getting really close to $30,000. That would be so great to break 30 grand. But he's got this book coming out, Flying Fortress Remastered. I'm just going to show you the top. I didn't even ask him permission for this, but this is his preview page. This is just the top. Things might change. I'm not going to scroll down at all. He's the goal is 4,000. You can see that much. I'll let you see that. But if you're interested in signing up for his mailing list, I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can check it out. Looks really cool. I'm excited for this to be launched. I think it'll do really well. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out Flying Fortress, join his mailing list, and I'll see you next time.